Just over a year ago, our world turned upside down. I walked out of my classroom on a Friday afternoon and have not returned to it in over a year. While school buildings have been closed, school has definitely continued. Teaching virtually is among the greatest challenges of my life. I don't enjoy technology. With wonderful colleagues and an exceptionally patient husband, I've managed to create exciting lessons. The other day, a young teacher observed my lesson and likened it to an episode of Spanish Sesame Street. Through Zoom, I've built strong and sincere relationships with each one of my students, and their parents, and their abuelas, and their pets. I even have a student who comes to Zoom every day with a rat on his shoulder. Each one of my students is learning. As vaccinations happen and we're beginning to see the light, I took some time to reflect with some of my kiddos on what the past year has meant to each one of us, the good and the bad. Here are some of their thoughts. First, the worst of the pandemic. The worst thing is I can't go anywhere at all, and it's so boring, and I miss my friends and teachers so much. The worst thing about the pandemic is that I'm not getting my regular exercise, also that so many people are sick and dying. The worst thing in the pandemic is when they closed fun places like Chuck E. Cheese. Una cosa que no me gusta de la pandemia es que no puedo ir afuera con otros niños a jugar sin ponerme una máscara. Translated as, one thing that I don't like about the pandemic is that I can't go outside and play with other children without wearing a mask. The worst thing about the pandemic was when my people died and I had stomach pain. Una cosa mala es que no puedo ver a mis primos y mi abuelita en México. A bad thing is that I can't see my cousins and my grandmother in Mexico. The worst thing about the pandemic is that sometimes I have bad internet connection, so I disconnect from Zoom. But there's also a silver lining. I think the best thing that happened was when I got to play more video games with my friends and I got to spend more time with my family. My parents work a lot, but now I get to see them more. The best thing that happened during the pandemic is that I could stay home and talk to my family. I could also sleep or rest during breaks. Una cosa buena es que me quedo en casa y miro a mi hermanita bebé y juego con ella. Translated as, a good thing that I can stay home and look at my baby sister and play with her. La mejor cosa de la pandemia es cuando no hay escuela, pero todavía podemos hacerlo virtualmente. Translated, the best thing about the pandemic is that even though there's no school, we can still do it virtually. The best thing about the pandemic was that I got to watch movies with my mom and spend more time with her. I got to find books that I really like, and I got to spend time with my brother, and I got to draw more. Es que puedo coser con la máquina y durante esta pandemia, este es lo que estaba practicando. I know how to sew on a machine, and that's what I've been practicing during the pandemic. You can grab snacks whenever you want. The best time in the pandemic is when they shut down the school, so now we learn at home, which is cool, so I don't have to worry about being bullied. I can be with my dad all day now because normally he's always at work and it takes him an hour to get back and he misses dinner every day. Now he's home. The best thing about the pandemic is spending more time with my family, like eating lunch all together, having family game nights and movie nights, and getting to go on walks with the family. Also being able to sleep in and be in my pajamas all day. The good and the bad through the eyes of our children. While the past year has been a challenge, I'm inspired by the wisdom and tenacity of the children. Borrowing from the wise Yoda, truly wonderful the mind of a child is. They become the teachers.